guys, Artosis here with some CasterMuse Star League Season 4. This is from the round of 24 in Group B. And we have in the top right of Eclipse, HyuK, a great Zerg player, up at the top of the ladder recently. Still not with any great tournament results, though, as of yet. And in the bottom left, we have Free. This Protoss, originally one of the 6 dragons back in 2008-2009. Always been a very strong Protoss versus Zerg player, kind of known for that. And has come back into shape pretty well recently. Definitely has had some decent showings over in ASL overall. Yeah, so kind of exciting to be able to cast him here. He was saying that he feels like he is back in good shape. The old Free is back, as he says. So anyways, the map is Eclipse. It is a great 2-player map. Definitely one that's been around for a little bit now. And we've definitely had a lot of excellent games here in really every matchup. I think it's one of the best 2-player maps ever made, in my opinion, at this point. Let's take a look. It looks like Free gonna go ahead and start off with a gateway at his natural. Then gonna go ahead and send that probe across. Of course, because it's 2-player, you can adjust your scout timings and everything. You don't have to account for scouting them last or anything like that. But yeah, this should be a pressure-filled opening. Just some Zealots rallying across the map to keep some pressure on. Over on HyuK's side, looks like it's going to be a hatchery first play. And going into a spawning pool after that, no doubt. The probe comes up. Now, he might try to fake like a cannon rush. Notice how he's walking behind the minerals here. This is actually a very popular map for cannon rush overall. So that's definitely something that this drone is kind of watching for and trying to figure out. There's actually plenty of room back here to hide a cannon in, where you can wall it off with pylons on each side. But cannon rush is not nearly as strong in StarCraft 1 as in StarCraft 2. You can kind of always hop workers over to attack them. So it's... look at this. He's trying to make it look like it might be. Of course, we can see it absolutely is not. Just the first Zealot on the way right now. Throws that pylon down. Now, do we have more drones come? Yeah. He's bringing a couple more to make sure he can pop over and actually stop this. And as that comes, look at this. 3 drones come down. He actually keeps the probe alive and cancels the pylon. So now HyuK knows he's been fooled. Kind of a nice move there by Free, right? It costs 25 minerals net gone, I guess you should call it, to cancel the pylon. And he makes the 2 drones come off, maybe scares him a little bit as well. Meanwhile, this Zealot in the center of the map, Free just leaving it there. Not entirely sure why it's waiting, but he's checking up and sees no gas, but in fact 3 eggs pulsating. So probably assumes that there are some Zerglings on the way. 3rd hatchery coming up right now. We do have the 2nd Zealot out. Really interesting how he's kept this Zealot. Yeah, maybe he's just trying to sneak by right now. The Zealot starts walking up. Yeah, look at this, dodging the Zerglings before they come out. It's like 4 of them being sent across the map. 4 more kept at home for HyuK, who's just now getting his gas. Over here on the side of Free, getting his gas as well. We don't have a Forge as of yet, so it looks like he's trying to be as greedy as possible. Let's see if he goes Forge or he goes... Yeah, okay, it is going to be Forge, so you do have to be a little bit careful here. You don't want Lings to overwhelm you or anything like that. Sometimes you'll see a crazy Protoss like Mini go for the Cybernetic core before that Forge, but here... Looks like Free being a little bit more safe as he does bring this Zealot home as well. Only the probe left over on this side of the map. I think he's not too afraid of a Hydra bust or anything since it was a relatively late gas. Looks like the probe tries to get up there, but the Zergling's waiting to block it. Will prevent any scouts from this probe. All right, finally does take it down. Lair is on the way. Of course, Free does not know this for sure, so we'll see what he does defensively. Cybernetics core already being made. That Nexus finishing up, so sending his probes over as well. And actually a decent amount of Zerglings being made here from HyuK. He killed the scouting probe, so maybe he feels like he can get aggressive, or maybe this is... He's anticipating a Zealot attack. And in fact, a Zealot attack is on the way. 4 Zealots coming across the map. Looks like the path they took really aims towards that 3rd base. There's already 12 Lings there, 2 more. So we have 14, 16 Lings coming to the defense. And look at this, speed not quite done yet, but getting some pretty good surface areas so far. Zealots taking some damage there. 2 of them getting very, very low indeed. Still, Zergling speed not quite done free. Turns around, does some micro here to try to fight some of these Lings. 2 more Zealots coming up to help fight, but 2 Zealots fall. Right then, another one goes down. And HyuK looking pretty strong at the moment. Looks like he will be able to eliminate all of those Zealots. A single Zergling left over, but of course that was a lot of Zerglings that he had to make that were not drones. So you can see still a slight worker edge here for free. Throwing up a Stargate. We have the Citadel on the way, a second gateway as well. So just going to continue to produce. And over on the side of HyuK, we're going up to 4 hatch. I think we'll probably see another one relatively soon here. Also Aspire coming up, but no second gas. So I'm kind of guessing that it'll likely just be for Scourge to push back Corsairs so that he doesn't take any damage to his Overlords. All right, you can see this kind of beautiful spread of Zerglings around the map. He's just fanned them out to make sure there's no other Zealots coming on the way. Making sure nothing is out there on the map, like a probe or a Zealot, anything like that for harassment or scouting purposes. Looking back over here, here's the 5th hatchery for HyuK. Spire almost done. We don't see a Hydralisk Den as of yet. We'll see if he makes any mutas. Like, he can afford a few, but again, I think it will just be Scourge. Okay, yeah, we just see some Scourge starting up on that production tab. +1 being made here, as well as the legs. And did he actually pop out a Corsair? It doesn't look like it. Oh, that's kind of interesting. Okay, oh, okay, he did have 1 Corsair across the map, and in fact, the Scourge going to chase it away. Of course, you have to keep this Corsair alive. It's so, so important. You can see the Scourge just slightly gaining on it, and he does take it down, so that is painful. In the meantime, Lings actually somehow run by this wall as the Zealots move out, so kind of a crazy moment right here. The Lings not necessarily attacking the most important structure. They need to get in here and actually do some damage. Okay, they get one of the cannons, and they are being very annoying. A couple Zealots coming back to fight. Let's not forget these 5 Zealots moving forward. There are 5 mutas being made to deal with these, but it takes a while for them to kill off Zealots. Mutas, that is. These Lings still trying to get some damage done. It looks like the Zealots will clean this up. In the meantime, the single Sunken gets taken down by these Zealots very, very quickly. The mutas coming over, and the Zealots will be dealt with. But you know what? He's forced some mutas out, and he's killed the Sunken. He's making him lose some mining time. I don't know if this is exactly what HyuK wanted to do. I don't think that it was, but since he killed the Corsair, I guess it works out reasonably well that he made some mutas here. It's definitely going to force more Corsair production from free. He is making some of those right now. Some more Zealots out across the map. Of course, they do have +1, and they do have Zealot legs. So very quick and able to run in and run by everything for some harassment. These 3 not spotted as of yet. Let's not forget there's no Zerg in between free and HyuK space. So these 3 Zealots, only when they pop under an Overlord will be seen. But look at this. The mutas actually stayed at home. I think he waited there to see if the mutas would fly out. A lot of times what will happen is the mutas will go for a counterattack, and then you run in with the Zealots. But this time, HyuK a little bit too clever, keeping those at home, and the Zealots not really getting that much done here. The mutas will get a pretty clean pick off. And they are forcing, you know, those Corsairs right now. Not sure exactly how many he has. Okay, we see 2 right there. 3rd one on the way, and he has made an Archon as well. Archon plus Corsair, of course, will counter Muta Scourge very, very hard. If the Scourge go after the Corsair, you just pull it back over. Watch, here we... Oh, well, normally what'll happen is you'll turn around and you run over the Archon, which one-shots Scourge, so that gets cleaned up really quickly. But unfortunately, he takes 3 Scourge hits upon his 2 Corsairs. 1 goes down, the other one being damaged pretty badly. A lot of that was shields, though. Here come the Scourge once again, and they actually get another connection, so a little bit sloppy there. Look at that, picks off that Archon very quickly. Not that many units, though, left here for HyuK, and the Zealots and Archon will continue to push forward, so Free really making the most of this attack. Another Corsair comes up, gets picked off by Scourge, but still, you can't really attack the Archon. Look at this, the Muta's trying to micro against it, but they are all about 1 hit away from death. Look at that micro, oh, 1 more hit. So painful, and finally does take it down, but this Corsair will come up and clean up the Mutas. Very great job there from Free, just utilizing that strong army before HyuK is ready. Now, HyuK, he's got a good amount of drones, but now it's drones against Zealots, so those drones are going to fall very, very quickly. A lot of Hydras being hatched. It is 6 hatch Hydra being produced right now, 10 Hydras in production, but it feels like Free just has the edge here. He's killed a bunch of drones, and as the Hydras pop out, they're having to fight Zealots that are already on top of everything. More Hydras coming over towards his third base. HyuK frantically trying to stay alive here, but Free in the meantime setting up his third base. I am getting chills. Beautiful play here from Free. He gets the win against HyuK. GG.